What's up, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Quick video, driving back from Florida, just crossing over in about 5 minutes, I think, in the Georgia-Florida state line. I got a little bit of light here, so hopefully you guys can see me okay. First day of training camp in the books today. A couple storylines I'll go through. I think I had 5 in my head that I wanted to talk about. I'll see if I can remember them all. Starting with Mekhi Becton. And, I'm so thrilled that this guy's in shape, that he's actually out there, off the PUP list, on the field, in pads day one. If you would have asked me a couple weeks ago, I would have never said that would have happened. And good for him for, whatever it took, whether it was Saleh, the team, I stand by what I said a month ago. I know I've seen everybody going after Connor Hughes and Boomer for the reports, but I ultimately feel like that might have been what got Becton to wake the hell up and say, I'm throwing all of this talent that I have away by not dedicating myself to taking care of my body. So, you heard Saleh today say that Becton's been in the facility pretty much every single day for the last 30 days, minus the week for 4th of July. So credit to him for doing whatever he had to do to get back. And when you think about him now solidified on the right side, Saleh announced that today. There's not going to be a competition, which I think is good. Fant earned the job last year. But you think about him and Vera Tucker playing together on that right side now. We thought when Vera Tucker got drafted last year, that was going to be the left side of the future. Now it's going to be the right side of the future. It doesn't matter in today's NFL. The way that defensive coordinators move their pass rushers around, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. So I'm just excited that he's going to be on the field, that it looks like he's healthy, and it looks like he's remotivated. So, congrats to him. Glad to see Fant off the PUP list as well. Hopefully they can get that contract situation sorted out. Now you obviously have to pay him at left tackle money. You wonder, I brought this up in the last video I did, you wonder whether or not that's, in line with Joe Douglas and how he views paying free agents or soon-to-be free agents. Is this any different because this is one of his own that he brought in as a free agent? I don't think Fant is too old. He's 30 years old. I don't have a problem paying a tackle, into his, early 30s, 32, 33. So if you can get a deal where, it's 4 years with, 3 years guaranteed, I think that would be more than fair. Now, whether or not Douglas would want to pay the, $15 million price tag, or if they want to see Fant get through another season, last year, I brought this up again, last year, he was not a starter week one. So while he was phenomenal at left tackle, it's only been 1 year that he's done it at that level. So maybe they do want to see it for another year. But the fact that they do feel confident enough to switch their first round pick and Becton over to the right side and give it to Fant, I think that does speak volumes. And you probably should pay the player if you feel that confident in him. So moving off the offensive line, I'll go to Zach Wilson real quick because it's exciting to see how many veterans it seems like are just all in on this kid, and that completely shuts me the hell up from my original draft take prior to the draft, where I was still trying to get over Sam a year ago, where I did wonder about this kid and his ability to lead an NFL locker room. And it just seems like he's got that kind of personality, a little bit of swag, a little bit of dog in him that players just kind of gravitate towards him. So ultimately his play on the field I think is going to decide everything. But right now, just seeing Uzomah walk in, Zach Wilson, Person of the Year shirt, it just seems like all these guys, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, they're all in on Zach. So, if they love this kid, it's obviously telling you a lot about what he's doing behind the scenes as far as film work and what they think he could ultimately do for them as far as, getting them the football. So excited to see year 2 of Zach. I ultimately think, if we're talking about the Jets becoming, a playoff team, but more than anything, what I think is realistic is them being a team that's in the hunt in December. If that's ultimately going to happen, I think that's predicated on Zach Wilson taking that huge step in year 2. So that was another story for today. Carl Lawson, man, hearing him just talk about, how difficult the rehab was. I'm so glad that he's going to be back out there. He's dealt with a number of injuries, throughout his career. The Achilles and I think some ACL injuries that he's had. So, just the fact that he's healthy for the start of training camp, I'm expecting big things from him this year. You got Quinnen in the middle, you got Jermaine Johnson, opposite him now. So there's not as much pressure as there would have been last year. And last year, that was a huge blow for the defense. Not having Lawson out there, and you had a lot of young guys in the secondary, not much else as far as, your front four that was getting to the quarterback. just having him out there now, I think, could be huge. Quinnen Williams, he dropped some weight. He looks slim. Not even talking about his contract, which, I think is a great thing. I think, just going back to Jamal Adams for a quick second, I think ultimately, and I'm glad that trade happened, those 2 first-round picks, which produced AVT and Garrett Wilson, was huge. But ultimately, I think Quinnen Williams is doing it the right way. By saying, hey, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to play. I'm going to let, I'm going to let the contract handle itself. That's ultimately, I think, how you get paid. That's how you get the money that you want, or at least if you want to stay here and be a part of what's being built. So I think Quinnen's going about doing it the right way. Other than that, I don't think there was anything else that I really wanted to touch on. I know DJ Reed had an interception in the red zone. Otherwise, Zach Wilson looked good. Actually, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. It was Denzel Mims. He was the last storyline I wanted to talk about. Seeing him as, I think Connor Hughes, Rich Cimini, both guys said, he was the best player on the field today. That is enormous because, while the Jets' top 4 receivers, in theory seem like they're set, you still have Berrios, who's pretty much, just a slot receiver. And, Garrett Wilson is going to be a rookie. You wonder how much of the playbook they're going to throw at him right away. Corey Davis, he had some struggles last year. In the past, he's had some health issues. So while I love the top 4, there is still room for depth, especially on the outsides, for a guy like Denzel Mims, who's 6'4", 4.3 speed, who could just blow the top off you, who's got the physicality to get some of the yards after catch, break some tackles. So if this kid genuinely rededicated himself this offseason and, he's just going in there with the right mindset, learn the playbook, he's going to cut out the penalties and the drops and everything else, I'm really excited to see what he can do, especially, again, with a lot less pressure on him to succeed. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm excited to get back to Jersey. I'll be at training camp on Saturday as long as I survive AC Friday night. We'll be back to live streams, I believe, on Tuesday. Talk to you guys later.